Здравствуйте. Еще раз продолжаем. Повышенность единственное. Ламс. Берем весь.
No one stopped me yet. What's inside? Pave my path with corpses. Build my castle with bones.
I've been thinking on all that you learned below. If you've got your breath, we ought to discuss our next steps.
I'm so tired. How do people do this all day?
Gods be damned. With that parasite in his brain, Father could wreak untold havoc in the Absolute's name. Should Baldur's Gate fall to the Absolute, every one of the coast cities will be ripe. We're not just fighting for our cure. We're fighting for my father. We're fighting for the Gate. We're fighting for all of Faerun. Orin, I'd never heard tell of, but Gortash I know. Or know of, more precisely. A bit player with dreams of a leading role, the way Father told it. He had no use for Gortash, and even I don't remember much beyond that. But where these chosen are concerned, I have a suspicion we're about to know more than we'd like. Worm's Rock Fortress. All travelers to Baldur, it serves as headquarters for the Flaming Fist, the Absolute's armies on the march. Gods forbid a tadpole Grand Duke throw open the gates for them. Yes, but first a question. If your home were under siege, what would you sacrifice to save it? As would I. I was 17. That's when the cult of the dragon made...
The cult of the dragon, a fractured religion. Some believers hold that undead dragons will inherit the world. Others worship the dragon goddess Tiamat, and
to conjure the Dragon Queen, and lay waste to Baldur. A 10-day after Father left, I heard a whisper as I slept. Duskhawk Hill. I grabbed a rapier and set out. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, yet not a single. There they were, gathered at the...
Your head tingles. Will wants to show you what happened. In the looming shadow of the mount, 5 groups of 5 figures each encircle a lofty totem. There is a crack of thunder, a gust of wind, and a dragon's white head appears in the storm. As the maelstrom howls, Mizura's lips press to your ear. She will destroy Baldur's Gate. Grant me your soul, and I will give you the power to save it, she whispers.
She read the terms while two devils stood witness. She didn't. She came on order of her mistress, Zariel. Tiamat made a play for power. Zariel had other plans. That was the most Mazora's ever said. Another pet added to her warlock menagerie. I don't know that it was brave. The moment I agreed, I burned with the fires of Avernus and oozed the rot of Dis. The cultists choked on our poisons and burned from our flames. When we were done, all that my soul was bound, and my lips were sealed. It is the one scar. Mizora replaced it with a sending stone. She uses it to track my location and speak from a distance. I could flee to the spine of the world, or the depths of the lower dark, and still never shake her. He returned to an unsuspecting city and a wayward son with a smirking devil at his side. I tried to tell him the truth, but my mouth couldn't form the words. I'd led him to the battlefield, but Mizora had swept it. I showed him my stone eye, but he only turned away. After, he said only one word. Go. So I did. I understand.
Like your mind. Sharp as ever.
The absolute cult drop.
How many die today? How many die tomorrow?
The shadows are lifted. Finally, we can... Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready. And just when things will...
Just what I need.
Well met. That's the...
That helped.
Well met. Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready. And just...
You saw Gortash, didn't you? What the fuck was he doing down there? Is all of this because of him? The tadpole, the absolute. How? I'd never have protected a Bay Knight even a decade ago. I looked after that fucker. He gave me away to Zariel without a second thought. And now he's looking to ruin the entire sword. He has to die. And I'm gonna be the one who kills him. He can't get away with what he's done.
Wish we could stay and see what this place will. Fuck yes.
I will never tire of sitting on dead men's thrones. Yes. Although I wish we had collaborated, but I will satisfy my warlust soon, for there are greater challenges. It is clear now that he was not work. During my time in the cult, I came to know one of his co-conspirators. All too to think. I thought her to be speaking for the absolute. I worshipped that woman. You make it sound so simple. is the chosen of Baldur. Indeed, she is the one who indoctrinated me with the Absolute's lie. When I first visited Moonrise, I stood before the Absolute in awe. It was more of an idea than an entity. Pure love. Orin was by my side. She told me that God, now I know that those memories... There was no God. Orin held me down in a cocoon of flesh. I will find her. I will murder her. And I... It is as if you read my mind. Perhaps you did. In killing Ketheric, we fractured the cult's leadership. When we break the other chosen and claim their netherstones, we can take... I expected you would be. But what I propose is nigh on impossible. But if anyone can succeed, it is us. We may fail. The power of the enslaved Elder Brain could reshape the world, and then we will need no gods. We will be their equal. We have a purpose and a bond. By my oath, I will fight with you. While there is yet one thing about you that troubles me, You chose to incapacitate me rather than killing me when you eradicated my minions. Why? So might any other true soul. And yet Gut and Ragslin do not stand with us under your protection. Sparing an enemy's life is a great risk. Even though I owe my life to the part of you that showed me... If Ketheric had I should not lose myself in these thoughts of what might have been. I do have one more question. Why come to Moonrise, where the cult's power is strongest? Why not walk away? True, but do not lose yourself to despair and fatalism. They tried to make victims of us. Now, I am ready to leave this damned place whenever... Your party is full. Did you think I would not notice?
I had to look after him. Without him.
Обожаю. Ну, здесь сохший.
Thy hunger denied. Soluna's faithful yet shines. The balance shifts. Thou hast seen with thine own eyes and felt there are depths to this alliance, yet do Illithids possess souls? No, nor canst thou count. Yet, the three amass an Illithid army, void, a flock without souls. Yet to what end, O tempted one? This is the... Until such time, be availed of my services. Where matters of balance are concerned, I am eternally called. Yes, Bane, Lord of Darkness, Baal, Lord of Murder, Merkel, Lord of Bones. Once judged, ascended, then vanquished as one. And as the alliance is reforged, mortal, the plains thus quake, and the gods. Now nothing thou dost not already know.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Aelin is here. And my father. I heard what happened. What he'd become by killing him. You set him free. You set Aelin free. And me. A great deal. But still, some of the Ketheric Thorm was my father. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the moon. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? That's exactly it. And I tell you, I took one look at her and I just knew. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was then... And this is where I still need answers. I died. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. I didn't know that then. But I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aelin was dead. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land. My home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them. And myself. No matter what. It's all out in the open now. And with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aelin. She needs healing. Rest. I'm grateful for your help. Your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long. But I'm grateful for a safe place to...
Go home, Marcus, he says. Just tell me what you need.
Весь включаем его. Всем надо. Это... Не знаю. Получать бонус против броска. Выбирать. Вот.
There you are. I was wondering where the devil you'd been. about that, Magungus. We have more important things to worry about. Like Wulbrin. Oh, forget about that. Wulbrin and the Iron Hand gnomes are planning something dreadful in the city. They have room powder, they have motive. We have to stop them. With the sword of justice in one hand and the shield of self-righteousness in the other, we most certainly will. To saving the city. And my fool of a friend. No. It'll take time. But
Moonrise has been cleansed. Baldur.
I owe you an apology. Barkus and I are another matter. I'm dealing with you right now. I saw you as a means to escape, nothing more. But when the sky lit up, when I followed it here, I knew you were behind it. I apologize for not seeing your true worth, and for being, quite frankly, rude in Last Light. Tough, but fair. And that's precisely why I want you by my side in Baldur's Gate. The Iron Hand gnomes are going to save the city, and you can be part of it. The plan is what it's always been. To bring the work and innovations of the Iron Hand gnomes to every corner of the realm. Problem is, Baldur's Gate is sick. Once the pinnacle of greatness, it's eating itself alive to save itself from starving. Find me in the city. And once you see what it's become, you'll know that I, and I alone, can stop it.
We leave the heart of the Absolute alive. You did well to defeat Ketheric. But Ketheric, there are many more battles ahead, and they will not be so easily won. You will need allies. You have the makings of a leader. Your actions have already inspired those. Halsin's strength and loyalty will bolster you in times of need. But if we are to succeed, we will need others. Even if the buildings are demolished, there are always survivors. There are always those. Baldur's Gate may not know it yet, but its fate is bound. Seek on its streets those whose purpose aligns with our own, and invite them to our together. We will put an end.
Ну и все. Секундочку, прям Google в помощь. Мне интересно. Если убить Изабеллу, ну, уже эту здесь, то конец ему этому. Кто-то остался там? Вопрос. Например, этот остался. Животных нету здесь никого, по сути-то, и не осталось, как я понял, да? Барк, гномы ушли. Деньги все тоже, походу, ушли. Соответственно, лица.
Whoever or whatever is causing that light is on our side. I have no doubt.
Ну, лакриса это место это. Ладно. Здесь никого-то не осталось, по сути. Потому что они все, в принципе, там. Вот. Раз. Дальше. Да. Да. Если я здесь убиваю Изабель. Я сагрится. Я на кулаки. Уже хер тоже.
When Duke Elton formed the Flaming Fist, he sought out people of... You saved Daniel. It's safe to say you'd have been recruited in an instant. Maybe. I don't know what this Duke... But I've seen the respect he inspires in the Flaming Fist. And that tells me all I need. I hope you can save Duke Ravengard. For the good of Baldur's Gate. Thank you. But look at me. I'm a relic. Besides, Nathaniel should have someone here when he wakes up. It's the least I can do. You too, my friend. Thank you.
По сути, да. На меня, сказать, Джахира и все здесь тут нападут. Что будет, если убить Изабель, темным соблазном, умной? Нет. Ну что? Ты что там? Самое забавное, что пишут только вот то, если именно в этом момент убить. То есть там
Your stomach churns around and around. mobile within is unsettled. Each moment surge. Companions sleep like blissful lumps of meat.
Thy wheel of fate turns ever to the dark. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead?
Like your mind wants you dead.
At least the shadow curse is banished. I like the dark, but not when it's trying to kill me.
The Absolute's army are on the march, and Baldur's Gate is their target.
Do you know what happens when a devil is struck down on this charming plane of existence? It returns to the hells, to the very point where it last stood before venturing to whichever devil-forsaken plane it died on. In the case of our friend Yrgir, the Orthon you so handily dispatched in the Temple of Shar, he manifested in my House of Hope. He returned to me chastened but intact. His wounds healed, his body restored. He thought I would dismember him. But he has his uses, so instead, I am re-educating him.
We delivered the devil. Now I want what I'm owed. We had a deal.
Indeed, we did. I discovered all there is to know about those scars of yours. It's a rather grim tale. Even for my tastes. As you wish. Brace yourself, Astarion. We're about to unveil your destiny. Carved into that ivory skin of yours is one part of an infernal contract between the archdevil Mephistopheles and your former master, Cazador Zar. In full, the contract states that Cazador will be granted knowledge of an infernal ritual so vile it has never been performed. The rite of profane ascension. It promises to be a marvelous ceremony, very elaborate, incredibly ancient, and entirely diabolical. If he completes the rite, he will become a new kind of being, the Vampire Ascendant. All the strengths of his vampiric form will be amplified, and alongside them he will enjoy the luxuries of the living. The arousals and appetites of man will return to him, and unlike Astarion, he will have no need of a parasite to protect him from the sun. But the ritual has its price, as all worthwhile things do. Lord Cazador will need to sacrifice a number of souls, including all of his vampiric spawn, if he is to ascend. Imagine how he felt then, when one of those precious spawns simply disappeared into thin air. The only missing ingredient is Astarion. You are the final piece he requires to complete the ritual. Your scars bind you to it. Your soul will set off a very wave of death, bringing Cazador his twisted life. And that, my tragic and toothsome friend, is that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have business elsewhere.
Do you think it's so simple? The end of my life amongst them, just when I was starting to enjoy it. He'll never leave me alone. I didn't think he would when I was just one more wretched toy for him to play with. But if I'm the key to this power he craves, he'll hunt me to the ends of Faerun. I need to take the fight to him, and I need you to help me. Thank you.
What now? Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. Have to keep going. Something's on my mind.
If Bowman says I'll be all... I wish it was different. I wish Mum and Pops was here. I hope so.
rests well. He's healing very rapidly, now that Oliver has returned to him. I knew I could put my faith in you. If only we had met sooner. No more than my right hand can absorb my left. Oliver is helping Thaniel to recover. They both lie dormant, like trees awaiting. Once the curse is lifted, they can stand as one or as a pair, whatever they wish. Still, I would like to return here someday. See Thaniel and Oliver again. In my meditations, or perhaps in person. If the oak... I can't say for certain, but we'll see it come to pass long before this place recedes behind us. Don't worry. All is at hand. I have. But perhaps there... Anyway, once the curse is lifted, nature can take its course without me. And I'm glad to be had. Glad to be with you, I mean.
You did it. Catherick Thorm is no more. The Shadow's grip is broken, not as glad as I am. Nature moves at its own pace, and bestows its bounty when it sees fit. Give it time. A reward shall come to you. Your path leads away from me, I sense. Be safe. Perhaps one day you will see the fruits that your victory has sown here.
What do you know about me? You spoke of my past, being chased by wolves. Almost no one.
There is nothing I can tell you that you do not already know yourself. They trained you well, trained you hard. Chiseled away any part of you that did not fit their plan. They made you forget.
I chose to do that. For the mission to protect Shaz...
Secrets. Yes, yes, that is an old song, girl. Your goddess cares more for her precious secrets than she does her devotees.
Get to the point.
When you freed me, you severed a bond between me and that dog, Thorm. A bond of pain. His, inflicted on me. When I laid eyes on you, I sensed a similar bond. You, tethered to two others. Someplace distant. Let me help.
You feel Shadowheart's mind tug at the edges of your own. You know this sensation. She wants you to see whatever is about to be revealed. Your mind joins with Shadowheart's. Something pulls at you both, bringing you elsewhere.
What? Who was that man?
You already know. Did you not see yourself in him? Do you not recognize your own blood?
My father. That was him.
That is him. He lives still. And your mother, too.
No. It can't be. I'm an orphan.
And who told you that? Your adoptive family?
You are not to blame. You were young, impressionable. They took you because they wanted to break and remake you. But you are a child no longer. You are a woman. One who knows what must be done.
My parents. I need to save them.
Your parents are with your abductors. You will need to return to their lair. You may have once thought of them as comrades, mentors, friends, even lovers. You have been forewarned for what is to come, but not yet forearmed. I was able to retrieve it before it sank too far into Shah's umbral domain. Shah is quick to discard whatever she has no use for. I think you know that well, but I felt it call to me as I took flight. Whatever Shah calls her own, Selûne has equal claim to. They are one and the same, and mirrored. Take it. You will find it useful. What do you do with it?
I'll need every advantage, it seems.
A debt repaid. You returned my life unto me. Now go and claim you. Shah torments you still. What a spiteful creature she is. This will not stop until you take. See that your parents' sacrifices are not in vain. Allow the Moon Maiden to guide you at last.
I've been lied to. My whole life. My parents are alive, and I have to save them. I think a part of me always knew that. Thank you. But I want you to refrain from foolish heroics. When the time comes, we'll be entering a nest of vipers. We'd better press on for now, and hope we're ready when the But before that, there's one thing I need to see to. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Just leave it with me. Of course. I thought you'd never ask. Even if I could remember, I'm not sure I'd tell you. I don't want your ego to get overinflated.
Never wanted the easy path.
where I can already feel a change in the air.
The curse has been lifted, the lands cleansed of the shadows. Kethric's reign of living death is over. Your courage has been tested, and in this at least, you have triumphed.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the Flaming Fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir. Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the Prism Bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
My prodigal bloodkin is among them.
They live.
Barely. I made mince of their ugly mind matter. And if they dare return, I will strip out their offal.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
Painful truths have been thrust upon Shadowheart. I believe she is strong enough to endure, but her path will be easier with our support. An unwieldy number. You must cut someone loose before I look forward to.
Making me sweat. I've got a long road ahead. Let's march! Intestines throb. Blood whispers. At the ready. Already feeling better.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Let's see.
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long...
There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer. Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne, hear me. Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Merkel, is dead at last. My mate, Most High. Darling Isabel is safe and well. Say blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One. We are a powerful party indeed. Faerun itself My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it. I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead three are... You must face them. I will help. Pray, ask, and I will tell. Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb. Ketheric Thorm, father of my one and only love, enslaved. Ketheric Thorm never did trust me, even when he worshipped the Moon Maiden. He was threatened by my love for Isabel when she died. Curse the day, the hour. We each of us mourned bitterly, but he turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poison. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric, but lo, the brute is dead, and we...
Thy wheel of fate turns ever. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrect?
Open up.
Ой, Гил.
I was supposed to sacrifice myself to stop the Absolute. Yeah, I don't think I could have gone through with it, in truth. And I'm glad that I didn't, given what has come to light. Indeed. Under other circumstances, I might have been subdued or ashamed. But after what we saw, I must admit, I'm excited.
the elder brain. But more importantly, the crown that it wore. Even without seeing it for myself, I could netherese magic. So pure, so complete. I doubted what I was feeling at first. Most netherese artifacts contain only the faintest amount of their former power, the ghost of an echo of a memory. I can't fathom how such a wonder survived. Surely everything of its ilk was destroyed along with Netheril itself, but no matter. It exists. I must learn. That crown sits on a gargantuan elder brain bent on destroying us and everything we hold dear. Understanding it, we need to learn more about what we saw. An artifact as powerful as that crown, as luck would have it, we'll soon find ourselves near one of the finest book collections this side of Candlekeep. Sorcerer's Sundries. I need to go there and learn all I can. Ha! Sorcerer's Sundries is no mere trading post. Their collection of You'll have to forgive my eagerness, but if my suspicions prove to hold...
Я походу потерял.
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. And what then? You are prone to impulses as uncontrollable as the gods themselves. Will you even have a say in what you do? Will you liberate the true souls from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? Your blood swims hot at the very prospect. You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
We're under attack. Help me.
Да почему не сработало? дал. Раз, два, три, 4. Ай, Вилли.
Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
Fuck yes. That's it. Let me at it.
Там получше.
I'm here. Help me. I'm under attack.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have. Well, well, well. I have such a headache.
Keep your distance, darling.
I could go for a good meal.
Whatever comes, I'm ready. Another fight. Let's go.
Let's spill some blood. Shall we cut and run? Time to move.
It's not over. Come to the skull. Hurry. I can't hold them back alone.
Someone there?
Let's get going. Anything of use?
I need you. Now. It's not over. Come to the skull.
to the skull.
One day I'll catch a break.
The skull. Come to the skull.
Before you do anything, I am your ally. We are in danger. The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. Help me. You saved a child from a viper, back in the Druid's Grove. You saved the Asima Night Soul from her soul cage. You let me live last time you were here, though it brought Blackith's wrath upon you. Your continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all the proof you need. Now, help me. The god. Destroy the god. Do it now. Together, we can turn.
much for peace.
I must regain control over the Githyanki press.
Let's end this.
Thank you. That was too close. Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
Of all the things to be indebted to, a bloody mind flayer.
It was necessary. Rare are those that would openly consider a partnership with a mind flayer, even those who are on a path of becoming one. I was someone once, someone just like you. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my own city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield. The largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence. Though of course, they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while. Until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Indeed, his hubris knows no bounds. To enslave me, that was his nature. But to enslave an Elder Brain, a questionable decision. I shall look forward to sharing his downfall with you. We fought to tame Prince Orpheus, the son of Gith herself. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Vlaakith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Vlaakith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. A very good question. One that I have been unable to answer. That Orpheus lives at all is ruinous to Vlaakith. She has done everything in her power to keep his existence a secret. That Gortash and the Chosen found out about it. But it was important enough to them that Gortash sent me to it. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. And found, I realized what the prison was for. Containment. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find allies in the outer world. You. That would be a The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him. And in so doing, you would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion. A pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another...
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a Illithid. A sworn enemy, just like me. I appreciate that. But my original body was destroyed when I transformed. When I realized that returning to my former self would only impose any advantage I could gain by restoring my original appearance. I already had to hand in. As an Illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent Illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the... You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength. If you let me, I can evolve you.
Well, certainly brave of you.
You continue to surprise me. Now, hold out your hand. It wants to evolve, but it cannot do so alone. It must commune with another.
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens. Its yearning almost unbearable. The tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, all you feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
When your allies see what you... But we mustn't lose focus. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city. We must not let them reach it.
It is Orpheus. The blood. Listen close. Long ago, Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons, the first Vlakith of many. It is Vlakith 1-5. Yes. But it was the first whom Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own. It was Kithrak Voss himself. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlakith's empire to pieces and build new. The seed. Every word Voss spoke, one word from his lips, and the people would doubt. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way.
No one back home will ever believe this.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact or astral prism the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism. But I digress. Did you want something?
Of course.
Fine. What's on your mind?
What's up for discussion?
When I first met you, I trust your leadership and respect your decisions. But I truly hope this is not something we come to regret. Given the circumstances, you're faring as...
Walk in death.
We must find where Gortash and Orin have established themselves.
Baldur's Gate is right over the hills. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And to place him in a position of such esteem, the world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. Of course I envy him. The problem with what Cazador has done is that if the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. What's a handful of the wretch's servants? If they're anything like me when I was enslaved, they're all but begging for death anyway. After 200 years of shit, pure shit, I think I deserve something better. Look, I appreciate that. All I'm saying is, let's be clever about it. If an opportunity arises for me to become a more magnificent bastard than I already am, let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finely positioned for yours truly to ascend. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us. Likely with... We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty... Unless Cazador's changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking...
You left Ketheric's stone behind. I sent it to your camp.
My faith will guide me.
Wanna dance?
Let's move. Light on my feet.
Всем спасибо.